So now we are going to cover the next part, the other parts, which will include the clause 5, 6 and 7. And here we have, first of all, public deposits. So whenever we think about public deposits, they mainly are governed by section 73 to 76 of the Companies Act, and this is what we need to state in the CARO as well. So we have to see that in the respect of the deposits which are accepted by the which are accepted by the company, and also the amounts which are deemed to be the deposits. So there are deposits which are accepted, like the amounts which are deposits by the company, and also there are certain amounts which, as per the company rules, are also deemed to be deposits. For both of them, for the deposits as well as amount which are deemed to be deposits, the directives of the RBI, first of all, and the provisions of section 73 to like the directives of the RBI and the provisions of section 73 to 76 have been complied with. So we have to check out for two things, that is the directives of RBI and section 73 to 74 of the companies section 73 to 76 of the Companies Act have been complied with or not. If not, then we have to state what exactly are the nature of contraventions. So if they have not been complied with, we have to state the nature of contraventions, and we also have to see if there has been any order which has been passed by the RBI or any NCLT or any court, and if the same has been complied with or not. So there can be orders which are passed. There are various sections which are covered in the company's law in which the NCLT passes certain orders. So if they have been complied with regards to the company or not. So when we are covering deposits, we have to see that the like first of all, for the deposits which are issued by the company and also the amounts which are deemed as deposits, the directives of RBI have been complied with or not, as well as section 73 to 70 section 73 to 76. And then if they have not been complied with, then the nature of contraventions. Along with that, we have to see any RBI and NCLT or any court's orders have been complied or not. Then we have clause 6, which is on cost records. So the cost records are specified in section 148 of the Companies Act 2013, and here in the CARO we need to see whether the maintenance of the cost records, so there are certain companies for which section 148 is applicable. So we have to see whether the maintenance of cost records has been specified by the central government under section 148 subsection 1 or not, and if it has been specified whether such accounts have been maintained or not. So we have to see two things, whether if it has been specified or not, and we have to then see if it has been maintained or not. So whether the maintenance of cost records, what exactly are we talking about? We're talking about cost records has been specified by the central government. It's been specified by the central government of the as per section 148 of the Companies Act, and if such records have been if such cost records and accounts have been maintained or not. Right. So now we're going to cover statutory dues. Now, what exactly are statutory dues? So statutory dues are the payments which have to be made to any statutory bodies like GST, like employee benefits, etc. Here it has been given like GST, Provident Fund, income tax, sales tax, etc. So now this clause is about statutory dues. Here we have to cover two things, that is disputed as well as undisputed statutory dues. So when the company, whether the auditor needs to report whether the company is regular in the depositing of the undisputed statutory dues. So whenever there are undisputed statutory dues, the company needs to be regular in the depositing of that fund. But if not, then we have to state the extent of the areas which are outstanding. So we have here it is bit particularly mentioned that on the last date of the financial statement on the last date, on this particular date, if the arrears of the undisputed statutory dues, these undisputed statutory dues are of more than that of 6 months, if they are pending for more than 6 months on the last day of the financial statements, then it needs to be reported. Now, whether the company is regular in depositing the undisputed statutory dues, and if not, the extent of the areas which are outstanding of the outstanding statutory dues on the last day of the financial year concerned for a period more than 6 months from the date that they become payable shall also be indicated. So on the last day, the extent of areas which is outstanding on the last day of the financial year, on the last day of the financial year for the concerned period of more than 6 months. And if the 6 months have passed from the date that they become payable. Now, if the next point is about the statutory dues which are other than mentioned in clause A, that is the disputes which the dues which are disputed. For example, the GST calculation given by the department has been under a dispute. But here, one more important point is that a mere representation to the concerned department will not be considered as a dispute. So, if there is with regards to income tax, a notice has come with regards to income tax, a notice has come from the income tax department and a representation has been made. So this mere representation to this concerned department will not be considered as a dispute. And if this statutory dues have not been paid for a period of more than 6 months on the date of the financial statements, then that will be covered here. Now, whether statutory dues which are referred in the which have been referred, if they are having any dispute, then the amounts which is involved and the forum, that is the income tax department or the GST department or any other PF departments. So if there is a dispute is still pending, then that will be mentioned. So if we revise this part, that is for the undisputed statutory dues, if there are if the company is regular in the depositing of the undisputed statutory dues or not, and if it is not, then the extent of arrears which are outstanding on the last date of the last day of the financial year concerned for a period of more than 6 months from the date that they become payable. And if the statutory dues which are referred in clause A have not been deposited on the account of a dispute, then the amounts and the forum shall be mentioned. And here a dispute will not be a mere representation. The mere representation to the department will not be considered as a dispute. Now the next part is with regards to unrecorded income. So the clause 8 is also quite important, and this is about unrecorded income. So there can be dealings in blank money, etc., but this could particularly mean the unrecorded income. But whenever this unrecorded income is surrendered, that is the entity surrenders this and accepts that there is an unrecorded income in the assessment year which is as per the Income Tax Act, then in that case that particularly will be mentioned, and we will also mention if the proper treatment in the books of accounts has been done or not. So whether any transactions which are recorded in the books of accounts which is not recorded in the books of accounts have been surrendered or disclosed as an income during the assessment years as per the Income Tax Act or not. So this has to be mentioned. Then apart from that, whether this previously unrecorded income has been properly recorded in the books of account during the year or not. So we have to see that whether any transactions which are not recorded in the books of accounts have been surrendered or disclosed as per the Income Tax Act in the assessment year, and if it has been done so, then this previously unrecorded income has been properly accounted in books of accounts or not in the year or not.